Hello and welcome to a brand new edition of Touchline Fight Card. Today we have Tottenham Hotspur versus Chelsea.
Come on.
Representing the blue side of London, we have both Villain New, as he calls himself, Anu, and the man himself, Dan Soft. How are you guys? How are you?
I'm good, man.
It's good to hear. Anu, yourself, how are you, mate?
I'm good, man. I'm excited, man.
Happy to hear that. And representing the whiter side of North London, we have topless tapping Tottenham Toe.
What the hell is
this? And of course, we have my bold brother, Sai. How are you guys? How are you?
Good day, sir.
Oh, you are.
See, this is what I'm saying. Harold, all of them, they're disgrace. You know what I'm saying?
What? That's what happened.
How come
No, I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry. You know what? Yeah, I'm so used to looking at you to get your bold. I actually just forget. Hilarious. Anyway, guys, hope you're all well. Hope you're excited. Very, very big game tomorrow. We have Tottenham Hotspur versus Chelsea. A lot has changed since the last time you guys saw each other. Lampard's now out. Thomas Tuchel is now in, or Tuchel, or however you pronounce his name. I'm saying it wrong. Tuchel, is that right? Tuchel. All right, okay, cool. Jose Mourinho is giving people a little bit of wayward feelings. Let's just say that. It's all going off. First of all, I just want to say, for you guys who are listening, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're going to be putting all of our various podcasts on this channel from now on, so you see on our various different playlists. So that ranges from courtside, which is NBA, to Formula One, to boxing, to obviously all of our club pods here on football. So make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell button so you don't miss out on anything at all. So yeah, now that's out of the way, guys, let's do it. Tottenham versus Chelsea. It's never a dull affair when Jose Mourinho is involved. Let's just say that. However, I was doing a little bit of research, and this is actually the first time they're going to come across each other in their managerial careers. I was scrolling through all of transfer market, being like, no, it can't be so, but they always seem to have missed each other. So I am going to start. I'm going to start here with the Chelsea boys. You guys have obviously said goodbye to a club legend in Frank Lampard. Anu, I heard you speak so eloquently on the Chessy hour last week. You were telling me, you were all doing, what was your favorite moment of the Frank Lampard era? And you were saying, it was when you lost at Anfield because Lampard shouted at Klopp. Hilarious.
That sounds like something Anu would say. Yeah,
I thought that was absolutely hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. But no, jokes aside. You have Thomas Tuchel in. He's had 2 games, 1 draw, 1 win. What are your thoughts, guys? I knew since I've said your name already, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts? Are you buying into his philosophy already, or is it too early to tell?
I'm 100% buying into his philosophy already, and I think that's just a testament to how much of an impact he's made already in just 2 games. I think you can see from obviously the Wolves result wasn't the one we wanted, but you can just tell already, and that was after 1 training session, the impact he had on the team. We were playing more speed, more direct, multiple ways of attacking. The players looked more confident, and that showed by the possession. I think we had about 14 shots, 5 on target. And again, this was reflected in the Burnley game, another game, 71% possession, 19 shots. So already in those 2 games, we can see that TT philosophy is working. So and again, that's only with a week training. So I'm very optimistic. I think the guy knows football. I think the players are loving him, and you can see by the slide digs they're throwing at Lampard, with no disrespect. Looks like the players are getting trained, and I think that's just what's been missed throughout the season. So 100%, I'm seeing it reflected in our play already.
Okay, cool. Good to hear. Dan, I know you've been quite coy on your comments of your new gaffer, Tommy T, as some of the as in you've when I've asked you on our Discord, which you guys can all access, make sure you sign up to our Discord. I've asked you on our Discord, you've always been a little bit reserved in your comments. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe you're a bit scarred from previous managers. I don't know. Maybe
I'm all in. I'm all in.
Okay.
Look at Tobs' face. Look at Sai's face. those are the faces of people that are not happy with their manager. Look at me and you. I'm all in. I'm all in, baby.
Okay, cool.
I've been waiting for times like this.
Okay, cool.
This.
Fair enough, Sam. Fair enough. So I will ask you, what I will ask you is, I will ask you a slightly different question to what I asked Anu. I'm going to ask you, what exactly are you most excited about with the new gaffer Tommy T, as some of the proper Chelsea are calling him?
Tommy T sounds racist, you know. Let me take it. Tommy T sounds like some NDL or EDL type of motherfucker. But you know what? He's like, I'm a sorryista. It's been, this whole Lampard time, it's been tough for me. I haven't been saying it, but it's been tough. I've heard names like Declan Rice. I've heard names like, he tried to make Chelsea Brexit again. I'm telling you, under Sarri, just as Sarri was going, we saw a young Hudson-Odoi rising. He was going to become the prince. You know what I'm saying? Don't roll your eyes. Listen, Tobs, don't roll your eyes, bro. Just because you ain't got a star boy, we'll come to Spurs. We'll come to Spurs. we saw. Listen, if Klopp was in charge at Chelsea, I believe he would use Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante together. If Pep was at Chelsea, they like ballers. They like possession. Lampard hated all of that. He just wanted to create England 2.0 with Roman's money. I'm like, bro, just go to the under 21s. I'm glad that he's gone, and we've got Tuchel in, and Tuchel. That's how German Dan. I asked German Dan because I didn't want to disrespect. So Tuchel, yeah. He's restoring the feeling, as I think people are saying. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that we're controlling possession. I'm happy that it feels innovative. Like in terms of formation, you're used to seeing 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. Obviously, we've had a 3-4-3 before under Conte, but it was a defensive 3-4-3. Now we've got an attacking 3-4-3. My boy Hudson-Odoi is shining. Do you know what I'm saying? It's all
I'm waiting for that name.
Yeah, bro. This is the drinking game. Anytime you hear Hudson-Odoi or Cho, have a swig.
Gonna be drunk as a motherfucker, man.
Okay.
Well, he's moving with confidence right now.
He is. I think it's clear to see. Perhaps not so. Perhaps Dan's not confident about the game per se, but he's just happy to have a change, and a manager who's obviously got a clear philosophy, and he's playing the kind of football that Dan likes. I think that's clear. Cool.
Exactly.
On the other side of the spectrum, at least fan hope. In regards to that, we have Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur, and I saw a tweet earlier this week, and it was like, no one hates Tottenham more than Tottenham fans. Yeah, and the first person I thought of was Tobs. That's the very first person I thought of, because you can just see in these tweets, he's like, why did I get my hopes up? Every year I do this. Every year. Anyway, I won't use the opportunity to dig you out. I do want to ask you. You've had a very up and down last couple of months, I would say, like in terms of your results. You'd win some, you draw some. It's very turbulent, to say the least, right? So I wanna ask you, so far in this season, I know you were saying there's a few games that are important, Tobes. I want to ask you, how do you feel right now about Jose Mourinho?
The same way I felt when he took over the first day. He is not my cup of tea anymore. He's not my cup of tea. This man is not the guy that's going to take us to where we want to be long term. I said that from day one, and I'm sticking to it now. It is clear to see he is not the guy to turn lemon into lemonade. Why,
Tobes?
It's just not his MO. He's not the type to squeeze quality out of average players. He likes, we've seen it previously where he's been successful. He likes finished article players. He likes players, 40, 30, 40, 50 million pound players who come into the team, make an immediate impact. This is a different circumstance for him, similar to Man United, whereby he hasn't got that perfect excite and he has to work with what he's got available. Is this the man that can work with the best of what he's got available? I don't think so. I'm coining this phrase as well, yeah? He turns lemon into piss. There are certain managers who turn lemon into lemonade. He turns lemon into piss. I've been saying it.
He sounds like Beyonce, like a scorned ex-Beyonce. Talk about lemon. Listen. Do not disrespect Mourinho, okay? I'll have it from United fans because they've won stuff before. You need to be.
Here we go. Here we go.
Don't
Can
guys.
I just say, guys, I've missed this dance off. I haven't had this dance off in like a year and a half. Lampard has sucked all the energy out of Dan, you know.
Can I jump in?
They get a little bit of continental flair and
Howard, can I jump in? I just want to emphasize that the fact you said average players. I'm very happy that you're well aware that your team is average. However, don't disrespect.
Team isn't average. It's not average.
You just said Mourinho cannot deal with the average players. I heard you say average players.
Does that mean the squad's average?
I'm very glad that you emphasize that your team's average.
So I didn't say the team.
Wait. Therefore, give him a bit of respect to know that he's dealing with average players.
Why would I give him respect?
One
second. Here's what we're not going to do. Listen, you're not going to disrespect Mourinho, not on this live. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, we will. I got to interject.
Not on Dan's internet. Not on Dan's internet. Anyway, all the.
You know what's crazy about this Dan Soft guy? He's shameless because I was saying all these things for months now, and he's been trying to drive up the Jose propaganda in our.
You know what? It's funny. So for some reason, I'm in the. I think it's because they want some winning mentality. I'm in the Spurs group for some reason.
We know why it is really.
Okay, cool.
Why it is really.
Winning mentality. He says winning mentality. No. Dan says winning mentality every single time, and this is his words, not mine. Every single time we've been in the Discord lives, he's been panned. Chelsea's been panned. When I'm there and he's there, Chelsea gets panned.
It's true, but that's juju. That's not winning mentality. That's something different. And this is what we're gonna do. Discord live. We're going to do 2 separate Discord lives because there's no way I'm having Tobs in the Chessy Discord live. every single Discord live, for some reason, when Tobs is there, we lose. We're not having it. I'm telling you.
No, okay. Anyway, back to some order. Order. Yeah. Thank you for that. I definitely have heard your views on Mourinho throughout the season, and I've heard how certain performances have been key in either convincing you or sticking with your initial thoughts. So fair enough. Sai, I do want to hear yours. I think the listeners want to hear your thoughts, Sai. Yeah, you let's hear what you think about Mourinho so far in his reign, not over the last season, but over this season so far.
I think in order to cover this season, you've got to go back to the beginning because as far as I'm concerned, like I almost packed in my membership for the tenure that he's here for because he's not my type of coach. As Tobes touched on, he's not the type to come into a situation that's like ours. He needs everything to be ready-made. He's a ready meal type guy, and we need something a bit more gourmet. So for me, I wasn't optimistic. I did start to ease up on my sort of reluctance to support him based on the fact that we were seeing a few modern footballing ideas, things like the lopsided fullbacks, the sort of approach to filling vertical spaces. We saw that in Project Restart this season, saw a few inklings of it. One bad result, boom, all of it was gone. So as far as I'm concerned, we've taken 2 steps back and about 8 steps backwards over the last maybe 2 months. And the results have showed. Like we asked for Tongi to be played deeper in midfield. What that leads to is playing a 3-4-3 with absolutely no attacking impetus. And Sissoko at right back and Ben Davis at left wing back. It's just ridiculous, man. Like the guy just overcomplicates things. It's clear that he's not coaching any sort of attacking patterns. It's just dead football. It's Chelsea football at the end of the day.
Three Premier League titles, Chelsea.
Yeah,
it's dead football.
It's
dead.
So take him back, Andy. Take him back.
Take him back. Give us too cool.
Yeah,
give us too cool.
You would take that.
Fair swap.
What do you mean bring us back, huh?
I said take him back. If he's so good,
take him back.
Let's do a swap.
No, but let me explain why. That's just a very stupid question because we've taken hold on. We've taken him back and he's won again. So we've done what he said. We're not going to take him back 6 times. But the one I say is everyone is learning. It is, and a famous centre back once said it, Chiellini. It's the history of Tottenham.
Yeah.
You need that spark and maybe a trophy win. He said, we hand our experience and we made the most of it. It's the history. It's nothing.
And this is
make magic happen. I'm sorry.
I know. When Jose became the manager of Spurs, for me it was an interesting experiment because we all know about Jose Mourinho's football heritage. He wins, but we also know about the history of the Tottenham. So I was thinking, which one is going to win out? And I've been watching, and at first, the football heritage of Jose Mourinho was coming through. We saw Kane becoming a playmaker. Sonny was looking good, everything. But I just feel I believe in the history. I believe too in the history of the Tottenham, and I think that it's too much because if you look at United, he went to United and he won. He still won something. Every single place has been he's won. So if at Spurs he goes there and he doesn't win, that's not on Jose. That's on the history.
Okay.
Of course it's on Joe.
First of all, as someone who's impartial, I think you Chelsea boys have been outrageous, yeah? First of all, you guys are being outrageous. I get it, I get it. Well, we'll get into the deep dive a little bit later. I'm gonna come to Chelsea boys. I'm gonna come to Chelsea boys really quickly. Because this is something I have some interest in. As you know, Anu, you and I, we go back, we go back to our very, very first Touchline main pod on that dreaded Sunday, right after a certain Van Dijk got injured. Fucked here. Okay, so we saw we've obviously you've had a few new signings over the summer. A much lauded summer that you guys had. Everyone's looking at, wow, look at Chelsea doing their business, right? You brought in the likes of Timo Werner, you brought in the likes of Hakim Ziyech, you brought in the likes of Kai Havertz, all great talents in their own right. However, they haven't really lived up to their price tag or their clout, in my own honest opinion. I think you may agree with that. Even the likes of someone who has done fairly well in Ziyech, he's only played 90 minutes once this season in the Premier League. I think that's fairly worrying, and I think you might agree with that as well. However, it's not all doom and gloom. Obviously, now you know that TT is now in as your manager. So I'm going to ask you, who out of those three that I've named, I'm going to start with you, Anu. Who out of those three that I've named do you think will do the best under Tommy T?
I think it's a tough one. I think the three I've named, I'll probably say Havertz will come out the best under him. And the reason why I say that is just...
Tell me why.
I feel like I really think that the German connection will have a huge impact. It's clear to me that two Germans have not felt comfortable from the beginning, and the more evidence we see of the game pass and he's doing, the more I sometimes even think, is Lampard even to blame for it? I'm not even sure that it was so much their fault, so whether they were even trained, what instructions were.
I can't. No. Anyway, I have to stop you there. I'm sorry. I can't let you jazz.
No, let me finish. Hold on, relax. The reason why I think it's quite clear that he simple things of relays instructions to his players, and Havertz has, and don't forget Havertz was COVID infected. So that had a huge impact. I don't think we've even seen him at 75% of this whole thing. And I really think once he gets going, the game against Wolves when Havertz played, he looked like a different player, in my opinion, already. And that was literally one game under him. So 100%.
You know that, yeah?
Pardon?
But you drew, yeah? You drew 0-0.
I'm talking about a specific player. I'm not talking about a
by the way.
player.
Okay.
Havertz was a completely new player, yeah.
I know, but he's not a centre back. He's an attacker, right?
Harold, are you impartial?
I'm
Harold, are you impartial?
Guys,
in the final minutes got cleared off the line. So listen, give him respect for the game. So I think it's going to be too bad. I think PT will get the best out of Havertz. I really do.
Okay. Well, you did say that you tried to attach blame towards Lampard for some of the German players' failings. Wait, let me finish. I'll let you finish, yeah? Kai Havertz, I kind of understand, right? Now,
yes.
Please explain to me how it's Lampard's fault that Timo Werner cannot finish in front of goal.
Well, the question you asked is a completely different question. Referee, you're asking a completely different question. I'll answer the question absolutely fine. That's not my. Let's have Werner has 15 goals, assists this season. For someone who has been so shocking that I just don't even think it's the end of the world. He's obviously going through a bad spell. every striker does. Every player's best strikers does. So I can't explain the misses. I can't justify the misses. However, I know it will not be long term. And everyone who knows football knows that class is permanent. Do you know what I mean? Form is temporary, and he's just going for a bad form, and he's going to get the best out of him. So that's it. But please, be clear with your questions, please, referee.
I don't see what was wrong with this question.
Isn't that the history of Chelsea that ruining?
You asked a question about one of your players who was signed for big money, and he's been dogging it for the past 2 months.
Yeah.
And so what's the problem in asking that question?
You've had dog shit as well. Look, you're Ndombele that you've been shouting about.
No, okay, relax. Anu.
You want to talk about Ndombele?
Wait.
Don't want to talk about Ndombele.
There'll be time for Ndombele. Don't you worry. Anu, just to explain, perhaps I wasn't very clear. So I asked you who of the 3 players you signed do you think will do the best under Tuchel, and then you mentioned the 2 German players that they'll do a little bit better, and you attach some blame towards Lampard for not getting the best out of them. So I said to you, is that really fair to blame Lampard for some of Werner's failings? That's what I said, and obviously you've given me your answer, so that's fair enough. I appreciate it. Dan, I am going to repeat the same question to you. Who do you think and why is which player do you think is going to get is Tuchel going to get the most out of, and why?
Out of Kai, Ziyech, and Werner.
Yeah.
Havertz.
Why?
It's gonna be. You know what it is? It's not Werner. That's what I know. I know it's not Werner.
Why? Why is it not Werner? Actually, that's a better question.
I'll tell you why it's not Werner. I feel like with Werner, Tuchel's already said. My bad. Tuchel's already said that. I don't think he would have bought him. I could have. Even with Ziyech, he probably wouldn't have bought him, but at least he's a creative player, so he can see a use for him. But with Werner, like, he needs space in behind. Who's talking about Maltese? Right? Listen, wait, quickly. This is why Tobs and Sai came on this stream with a hat on. This is the abuse that we get. You know what I'm saying? Just let us be. But Werner's one of them strikers where you have to pay for him. Harold, you support Liverpool. Rafa Benitez, when Torres was there, he would literally play counter-attacking, so there's space for Torres to get in behind. Whereas Tuchel likes to push up. You know, he wants our team to play in the opposite team's half. So Werner can still find a little bit of space, but there's not much space. So I don't really think Tuchel is really behind Werner, especially not as a striker, not as a centre forward. He might play him in those 2 positions behind him. But it's very competitive in there, which means that I think it might be a bit difficult. That's what I'd say on that.
So is it safe to say that Werner's joining the list of Chelsea striker flops?
Maybe.
Falcao, Torres, all of these.
Maybe. We've won trophies with flops. That's, you know what I'm saying? We still win
trophies. So do we, to be fair. We definitely signed a trophy with a flop. The last time we won a trophy, we had Taino on the pitch and we beat you, man. So
I'm not gonna lie.
It is embarrassing, but shameless is
I'm not gonna lie
today, right?
If you want to gloat, if you want to gloat on Carling Cup wins and shit like that, that's cool.
Yeah, that's not about you.
You said trophies. You said trophies. But I like trophies are all the same until they go.
Calm down. This is what I'm saying. That the touchline Hotspur, you're so uncivilized. Can't you just let me speak?
Go on.
Havertz is 21. We've seen it with João Felix. He had a difficult year transitioning. He's got plenty of time to transition, and I think that Tuchel's a fan too. So yeah, I'd say Havertz will do well. Ziyech is an iffy one, but Werner, I'm not sure.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. I'll reserve my own comments on those 3, but I'm definitely excited to see more of Kai Havertz, that's for sure. Spurs boys, I'm gonna come to you a little bit more on Mourinho just before we move on, right? Tobs, you in particular, as we've spoken, I've had the privilege of getting to know you more as the season has gone on, and there's been certain points in the season where you've told me this game is really important. This game is going to really judge what kind of Tottenham I'm gonna say that it's where we're going to finish in the league, like what kind of mentality they have, etc. Right? So there's been a few instances where you've come up short, but I want to ask you for this game in particular, this game you have against Chelsea tomorrow night. How significant is that to your season? Does that impact where you guys end the rest of the season or no?
I don't think. I want to be careful by saying this because it might mean, I'm happy with the loss. I'm not, but I don't think us not getting a positive result this match will completely kill us out of the top 4 race because of the nature of this season. I feel like the teams around us are going to be playing each other the next couple of weeks anyway. I know Aston Villa have got Arsenal coming up. I know we've got a game in hand against Aston Villa coming up. Chelsea have got a couple of games against some of the other sides around us coming up as well. So genuinely, I don't think it's the end of the world if we didn't get points out of this game. But I do think psychologically it's a big deal. It's a derby, isn't it? Like it's a derby. It's a derby that Mourinho hasn't won in the league since he's taken over at Spurs. And it's a derby against a direct rival that's actually trying to get the same 1 or 2 positions that we're trying to fight for. So whilst it's not the end of the world in terms of getting a win, draw, or loss, it's a big game for us in terms of trying to get back into some sort of winning routine or get back into contention for that top 3, top 4 spot.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. Sai, I'll repeat the same question to you. How much relevance does this game have to your season? If it's a loss, if it's a draw, is it the end of the world? How are you feeling about it?
I think for us to lose 3 games on the bounce is a travesty for the season. Just because we started pretty damn well, and for the form to just bottom out like that would be an indictment on Mourinho's management and his ability to carry us through the course of the season and actually achieve what we set up to achieve. I think if the League Cup hadn't been pushed back to a later date, I think it wouldn't have been as significant, just by virtue of the fact that we could pick up a bit of momentum in another area. But the way it stands, we need to just start winning games, and there's no better game to sort of get back on track than against the scum down the road on West London.
Okay.
You boys should be focusing on teams like Brighton. Teams like Brighton.
There we go.
You man have been lost, though, man.
Last time I checked, you were blocked with a game. With one more game played.
We should be worried about Brighton, Chelsea. Yeah, man, I get it.
Okay, guys. All right, guys. Don't worry. We'll have plenty of back and forth once we get to the combined 11 a little bit later on. Don't you worry about that. Don't worry about that at all. I do want to move on a little bit because analyzing this game was a bit interesting to me. You guys have come into this game on very similar form. Over the last 10 games, Chelsea have collected 11 points. Spurs have collected 12 points. You haven't really done much to show that you are really pushing for the top 4. In all honesty, Aston Villa have done more. Even West Ham have done more in recent times. So I do want to ask you, what do you think? Sorry, Dan. Dan, I do want to ask you.
You came on here to roast both of us.
No. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. So obviously, analyzing the game, I was quite curious. I was thinking to myself, Dan. So I'm going to ask you, right?
Mm-hmm.
What area of the pitch and what players in particular do you think will be the determining factor for a result in this game?
Yeah, I'm really worried about our strikers. I hope Alonso starts, just because our strikers aren't doing it, as like you kind of refer to with Werner. I don't know who he's going to start. I feel like since he's come in, he's had 2 games. The first game, Giroud started, and the second game, Tammy started, but he came off at halftime, and then Werner went up top. And I don't think he's happy with any of them as the striker. And we've been putting a lot of good. I'm going to mention Hudson-Odoi again. So Annie, take a drink. Everybody take a drink. Yeah. We've been getting loads of chances into the box, but we haven't been converting it. And so, I'm worried because against other teams, do you know what I'm saying? It might be a bit easy. You might get loads of chances, but we really need to convert against Spurs because I believe. Listen, the Wolves manager, he's Jose Mourinho's protege. So we've already kind of that low block. That's just the diluted low block. This is going to be the low blocks of all low blocks. You know so yeah, we really need to take our chances because do you know what? It's almost like obviously Lampard has the number on Mourinho. I don't understand how that happened, but I'm sure that the Chelsea board was thinking, do we delay sacking him until after the Spurs game or whatever?
You should have kept him for this game.
That's what I'm saying, for at least that much. But I'm happy he's gone. Beggars can't be choosers. But yeah, I definitely think that final third, we need to play Alonso because he's our best finisher at the club.
Wow.
So
Wow, that's so interesting. That's actually so interesting to hear. And I was actually going to move on to the Spurs boys, but anyway, I want to hear your comments because hearing you guys speak about Marcos Alonso on the week. Oh, was it the weekend? I lose track. When did you guys last play? On the weekend, right? He scored a great goal, an absolutely brilliant goal.
Yeah.
But you guys don't really like him. He's almost like the Bruno Fernandes for Chelsea. So, chat to me about him.
Yeah, I think specifically he had a huge falling out with Lampard in terms of one game he fucked up at halftime in the bus, and that was it. That was basically his career under Lampard was being done. But in terms of this game that we're about to play, and I think why Alonso would be so effective, not only to mention that he's already scored 3 goals against Spurs in the past, but also the fact that, as Dan mentioned, they're just going to set up like a low block. They're not going to try to play this game at all. So, okay, we're not going to try and play this game at all. Yeah. So, I think for that, Alonso's going to be so effective because we're going to have so much of the ball and we're going to have chances and we're going to need to take them. The game's going to be and Cho, Starboy.
Hey, come on.
The game's going to go through him, like it has been the last 2 games, and he loves doing also this cross-field ball. And in terms of his crosses, and Alonso is going to get at the end of one of those. Fingers crossed. So I think he's going to be really effective in this game, and something they should definitely worry about.
Yeah. Fair enough. When I watch Alonso, he frustrates me even as a neutral, but he somehow he just gets on the end of chances. He's also in the right place at the right time. He's gone.
Can I quickly chime in?
Yeah.
Because when we've been playing 4-3-3, Alonso doesn't get into the box because he's got defensive.
You're gonna have to remove these.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I don't support Spurs, but yeah, the problem is when Alonso's a left back, he's far away from the box, so you don't see his striking ability. When it's a wing back thing, I don't care about the rest of the game. I don't care. I honestly don't care. But be in the box to finish. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now we're playing a back 3 and wing backs again. Don't forget, we won the league with Alonso left wing back. So it's not like a lot of people try and make out like he's a liability. No, we won the league with him. Do you know what I'm saying?
History. He has history.
He has a history.
Yeah. I can definitely vouch for him being an FPL legend, to say the least. He was famously priced the most valued defender of all time. Very, very funny. Anyway, moving on to the Spurs boys. Tobs, I want to ask you, this is a perfect opportunity for you to wax lyrical about your boy Tanguy Ndombele. Where do you think the game will be? Or Tanguy, apologies. Tanguy Ndombele. Tobs, I want to ask you, where do you think the game will be won? What will be the deciding factor? What players are you most wary of? What are your thoughts?
Are you saying who's going to possibly win the game for us?
Well, really. So if you think about it, I don't know. Perhaps you're thinking it's Son versus Hodgson. You're thinking like if there's one player going to decide the game, or rather, where will you guys be able to trump them? Is it in midfield? Will you be able to overpower them with a bit of PMP? Like, what is it?
It will be. I think it will be in midfield. To be honest, I'm not really worried about Chelsea defensively. I know last time we played them, they did a job on Son and Kane, but I feel like I feel like if we set up how I think we're gonna set up, that threat that Son carries in transition will always be there. And I feel like Chelsea, they can run from it, they can do it, they can do anything they want in that game, but because they're gonna have most of the ball, if they start with Jorginho as I don't know what role he plays, midfield, Kovacic in midfield, etc. I just feel like that threat that we carry in transition will be there. That's a definite. And for me, I think this game hinges on how well we can use Ndombele, because we all know we're all gonna operate in this low block. It's gonna be low as hell, low. And for me, it's a case of when we get the ball, I don't just want to see the ball being hoofed up to Vinicius if he starts. I don't just want to see the ball being hoofed up into Son if he starts, because Chelsea will eat that all day long. I want to see the ball played into the likes of Ndombele. Let him do his magic. We saw him twisting up Kante at Stamford Bridge. We know that he has the ability to twist up man for fun. We know he has the ability to make the right decision with the ball. I want to see us not I want to see us not do the obvious thing and go direct to the front line. Use Ndombele and let's see what happens off the back of that, because he can genuinely be a match winner.
Keep Kante's name out of your mouth, okay? Kante was being nice. Kante was being spun, man. Come on. Kante wanted to change the stereotypes about black men being lazy. Okay, cool.
Nah, man. He had vertigo after that game.
Dan, I honestly, this is me trying to be as unbiased as possible. I think the least we talk about Kante so far this season, the better. Yeah. Anyway, moving on swiftly. Sai, I will ask you. Sai, I will ask you. Dan, angry. Sai, I will ask you. I will ask you a similar question to what I asked Tobs. Where is the game being won? Who are you most cautious of from the Chelsea side? Who are you relying on for you to actually get something out of this game?
For us, I think it's vitally important for us to get a balance out wing back right, because we need outlets. We can't just keep hoofing the ball 60, 70 yards up the pitch and hoping that Son makes something out of nothing. I don't think any of the military drills that his dad puts him through have him prepared to be covering that much ground. So let's try and avoid that at all costs. Mirroring what Tobe said, obviously Tongi and Højbjerg are going to be super, super important as always. But we need to get the balance around them right. Otherwise, it's going to be good work going to waste. In terms of who worries me from Chelsea, bruv, their front three basically might as well work in a food court because they don't really do anything in front of goal. It's going to be a case of what Havertz, Cho, and Werner. Yeah, them man to be scared of. That's what.
Yeah, watch Joe then. No, watch football.
Don't need to watch him. He's had a couple cameo appearances and guys are waxing lyrical about that.
Ridiculous.
Couldn't get in the team a minute ago. No.
Let's just remember we played.
We get told.
Man of the match performance.
Can I just address that? Dan and Anu basically. So we get told that Cho is this excellent crosser of the ball, and yet when I watch him play some of these games, I see maybe 1-2 good crosses out of a possible 10. We get told that Cho is this excellent 1v1 demon, and not once have I ever seen him put defenders on skates. I've never seen.
Okay, that's why I
just wanted to understand. Yes, he's a good prospect, but what is with all the propaganda? Cho this, Cho that. The other day I was seeing them tweeting about how Cho has more ability than Sancho. What?
It's because the Tammy stuff didn't work, innit?
He's that starving of a star boy that you must
go on, Dan.
Oh, you want me to go?
Wait.
Okay, go on.
Because if you would have noticed, the last two games, Cho had, as you said, he didn't have any defenders on Cho. Cho had the defenders on Cho's both games. Wolves game,
Eric Peters.
Wolves game, bring back subbed up time. That guy given the end. I don't even know. Brady for Burnley, was he not fighting? All I'm trying to say, don't lie about facts.
That's true. Anu, I'll take it.
If you didn't watch the game, just say, Uncle Anu, I didn't watch the game. Don't be saying, oh, he's doing 10 crosses and getting one on target. Come on.
Yeah. Literally, well, quickly, just a little bit. Literally, the last game, the manager was quoted as telling Robbie Brady, stick on him, and he's like, I know he's there, but I just can't keep up with him.
He's trying.
But that's what. But here's the thing. You raise a good point. You say that he's not a 1v1 demon. I agree. I don't think he is. And I feel like when you talk about 1v1 demons, you're thinking about Zaha, you're thinking about Adama, you're thinking about Pulisic. Yep. You think about Maxima. But then again, when you mention those players, everyone complains about the end product. Everyone complains. They're like, okay, they're 1v1. What do they do with it? With Hudson-Odoi, you can't complain. Number one, he dribbles with the ball, so he's a ball carrier. He might not be 1v1, but he's accurate in terms of delivering crosses. You will see it in the game. If you haven't seen it now, don't worry, we're coming.
And sadly, one other thing I add. Sadly, a lot of his stats would be even madder if Werner or some of our strikers would be better. And that's throwing shots at our strikers that they are.
We can make those same caveats about
Anu, I'm not here to talk about stats. I never said Callum Hudson.
What are we here for?
I never said Callum Hudson-Odoi is a
why
bust.
are you here?
I said stop overgassing this guy. You man talk about this guy like he's the no. You man talk about this guy like he's the best thing since sliced bread. He's the finished article. He's a good prospect. Nothing more, nothing less.
I'm pretty sure that's the same way you're
No, bro. He ain't no star boy. He ain't no star boy.
It's not our fault. You don't have a star boy. That's not our problem. Don't take it out on us.
Bro, he's no star boy.
All right. All there.
Come back to me when you say real star boy. That ain't no star boy.
Let me touch on that one about the star boy though, because for me, by all accounts, don't we have one of the top 3 strikers in world football who came through our academy? So whether he's a star boy now or the finished article, who cares? Who cares? Was it old? He's still coming. You could only dream that Hudson-Odoi becomes half the player.
We all had hair when Kane was coming through. Relax.
Hey, listen.
That's about right. Still, I can't lie.
That's all gravy. But you could only hope and dream that Hudson-Odoi becomes half the player that Kane is.
No, we don't.
So let's give it a rest.
Listen.
Guys. Honestly, I'm actually very nervous to bring up the name Hudson-Odoi because whenever it comes up, honestly, it's like the Avengers. It's like the Avengers form. However, you guys have made good points for and against. We're gonna move on from Cho, okay? But I do want to stick with you, Dan. I do want to stick with you. Obviously, you saw against in the Liverpool game, you saw Harry Kane go off injured, as Silas mentioned his name. Harry Kane went off injured. He's going to be out for at least a couple of games. Won't be back until the Everton game ish, I think. Also
next week, midweek.
Yeah, next week. So obviously he'll be out. Won't be available for the clash tomorrow. So, what are your thoughts going into the game? Are you thinking, okay, cool, regardless of Spurs being at home, are you saying, look, if we don't come out here with 3 points, is it a failure? Like you don't really have anyone else to worry on a goal for other than Son. So where are your thoughts at?
Do you know what? It's just like obviously with Tuchel, I think he's an attacking manager, innit? So like if it was Lampard this season, like I've been embarrassed. The cowardice that we've shown in big matches. We haven't really won big matches this season because we've gone in just accepting the point. I think with Tuchel, you know what I'm saying? We should be going for the 3 points. Yeah. Obviously, yeah, we should be going for the 3 points. Kane isn't there. That's one threat. They've still got Son. I think Son's an amazing one-on-one finisher. Vinicius, I haven't seen much of him, but Touchline, Hotspur, I listen sometimes and they make out like he's good. I have to see it.
Vinicius Janssen, mate, man.
I swear man's like 27. Like, anyway, that's their star boy. That's
not our star boy, bro. Stop playing words like that. That's not our
boy. I'm looking forward. Wait. I'm looking forward to seeing Vinicius because I haven't really seen him. So maybe he can provide a threat. But Chelsea, we're not in a position to drop points anymore. Like we've come out with a draw too many times in big games or lost. We need to win a big game. So I don't want anything else but a win.
Okay, cool. I like that. Anu, are you any different to what Dan just said?
No, I think we have to go in and look for a win here. We've had enough time now with our manager. I think he's really got his philosophy across. Tottenham, I think he has. I think we're seeing it. And I think Tottenham are coming off a bad run. They're there for the taking. They don't have Son doesn't have his daddy Kane, so I don't know. Son can't do shit without daddy. So listen,
Do you watch Spurs? Let me ask you the same question. Do you watch Chessy?
No. You're not gonna. You ain't gonna come here and start spouting lies. You won't get put in a split. You can't.
Wait, Anu, wait. Go on, Toby.
No.
So, I literally watched that Brighton game. I don't watch all of it. And Son, I didn't even know he was on the pitch. But guy, without his daddy Kane, he can't do shit. So I'm not worried enough. The only thing I'm worried about is whether we're going to be able to score with the way they're going to set up. Because that's going to be quite, you know how Mourinho does. That's his history. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. But we have to go for the 3 points. We have to be.
Okay. I like that.
Quickly, he's already seen the Wolves game, innit? So that's like, I'm sure he's going to set up the same way. And I feel like try to at least get a point. So yeah, that's going to be the biggest challenge.
Like, well said from Tops, because I was actually going to zero in on this. The absolute cheat to say that Son can't do anything with his daddy Kane when you've got all these men that are having their hand held by Lampard, by Mount, by X, Y, and Z, putting chances on the plate, and they can't finish to save their lives. You're talking about Starboy, Callum Hudson-Odoi for battering a makeshift left back. You're talking about an £80 million Starboy. You can't even impress against Wolves. You know, man, are telling me you played well. Average performance, average FC. That's all I've seen from Chelsea this season. And let me remind you, the last time you came up against a London club and you were waxing lyrical, oh, we have to win, we're going to win this. They're there for the taking. You got embarrassed. You lost to Arsenal reserves. So please don't come here with your chest talking as if you're the best thing since sliced bread. You've won like
you know what I love. No,
I ain't finished.
Having a Chelsea squad.
Hey, relax.
Let's head Tobs. Go on, Tobs.
You won 3 matches in 10. You lost to Arsenal's reserve team. Yeah, your strikers can't score to save your lives, and you're coming in here saying, "Oh yeah, they're there for the taking, bro." You're there for the taking because you're not that good. You are not that good.
Excellent, guys. Wait, guys. Wait. Anu, wait. For the sake of time, this is fantastic. This is exactly what I wanted. This is bubbling nicely.
You're lucky.
This is bubbling beautifully because right now I'm not going to give you a chance to rebuttal because it's going to keep going back and forth. There's no point. You guys can say that for the Discord, yeah? Guys, check it out if you like. We are going to move on to what we've all been waiting for. We're going to move on to the combined 11. I'm actually really excited for this, guys. So you can channel all of your energy into fighting the cases for your own players. So we are going to play a standard 4-3-3, as most teams do now in the Premier League. And I do want to ask you guys, goalkeeper. Who are we saying? So I guess we're going to have, obviously going to have Mendy versus Lloris. So
easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Let me go around and ask.
That's easy money, no?
Easy.
How are we gonna do it? You're just gonna ask what?
Yeah. I'll ask. In fact, you're speaking, so I'll go ahead and ask you.
No, they can have the keeper.
They can have the keeper. Okay, I guess that's it then.
Why can't they have it? Don't
As if you had a choice. As if you had a choice.
Dan. Let's make this quick because next they'll be like,
is this a good strategy? Should I listen to Anu?
You guys should have been consulting before. What's going on? This is a big moment, you know?
Yeah. We should have.
Message.
Anyway, okay, wait. You know what? Even if you had the opportunity to vote again, Anu, who are you saying? Are you still sticking with Lloris or are you saying Mendy?
Lloris, due to experience.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. Fine.
No, due to quality, not experience. Not experience.
Oh, sorry, guys. I haven't made it clear. Sorry. Let me prefix this quickly. So, this combined 11 is actually based on the last 10 games. So, for those of you who haven't, so for those of you who actually haven't yet joined, so I'll ask you again, guys. Don't worry. Those of you who are just joining the live, we're about 40 or so minutes in. Please make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube. Make sure you're liking the videos. Make sure you're sharing with your friends. Click on the little bell button so you don't miss out on anything like this in the future. And yeah, that's that little brief interlude on the overdone. So yeah, let me give you guys a little rundown of these two teams' form because this is mid-table to say the least. Okay, so at first we have Tottenham Hotspur. In their last 10 games, Tottenham Hotspur have managed to collate a whopping 12 out of 30 points in the Premier League, with wins coming against Arsenal, Sheffield United, and Leeds, losses coming against Liverpool twice, Brighton, and Leicester. Cool. You think that's bad? Wait till I get to Chelsea. Chelsea's last 10 games, they have managed to collate a whopping 11 out of 30 points, with wins against Burnley, Fulham, and West Ham, and losses to Leicester City, Manchester City, Arsenal, Wolves,
You can stop.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Why is he saying it slow? Why is he saying it slow? He's saying Chelsea as well.
What do you mean? I'm just saying, what, guys?
There was more of him.
Guys,
there was not more games, but there was just more L's.
There really wasn't. Honestly, both of you guys are hilarious to me. I can't lie. Anyway,
L's.
Yeah. But it's fair to say both of you guys are not in the best form. Chelsea less so because obviously they've won their last game. Spurs haven't won in 3 or 4 now. So
two games.
Oh,
we lost our last 2, but.
Oh, okay, cool. So you haven't won in 3 games then, yeah?
time.
Okay, there we are. Thank you, sir. Okay, cool. So let's start again. Last 10 games. Are we sticking with Hugo Lloris? Or are we moving to Mendy? Andy, I'll start with you.
Yeah, Hugo Lloris.
Hugo Lloris. Okay, cool. Let's move on straight away. Right back. Who we have? In fact, let me hear the nominations. So Spurs, who you having at right back?
Aurier.
Okay, Chelsea boys, who you having at right back?
I know we didn't consult. Is it Hudson-Odoi to Reece James? Which one we take?
No. James.
I'm playing. Reece James.
James.
Okay. All right. Go on, Andy. You gonna say something?
No,
Okay. So Chelsea boys, are either of you having Aurier over Reece James?
No, even Spurs man don't like Aurier.
Okay, cool.
He's been superb this season.
He's been superb. Spurs boys, are either of you having Reece James over Aurier?
Nah, bruv, and that kid needs a haircut. Man.
Wait, don't be jealous of his hair. All right, number one. But also, Harold, how are we doing this? Are we going to be honest? Are we actually going to be honest on who's better?
I mean, ideally, that is what we run a respectable podcast here at Touchline Fracas, Dan. Yeah.
Can you remind them that there's some honesty in it too?
Okay. Yes, guys, there is some honesty, a little bit of shamelessness. I won't mind, but honesty first and foremost. Toby, go on. What are you going to say?
I don't want to say. I plead the fifth.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I plead the fifth.
Nah, blood.
I can't even lie. I'm sorry. I know Aurier's been fantastic, but I got to give it to Reece James. I have to.
Yeah. That is disgusting.
I'm sorry.
I'm better than you, bro.
I'm sorry.
Agreed. I do. I have to agree with that. Even if Tobs had voted for Aurier, I was still gonna have gone Reece James. He's had a great season, particularly the first third or so. Right centre back. Who we having? Nominations. Chelsea boys.
Right centre back.
Zuma there.
Thiago. That's Thiago Silva.
Leave him left, and let's play Zuma on the right RCB.
Wait. Can we go back? Because
you know what I mean, Dan?
Can we go back? Because just to confirm, is this from game 1 till now, or are we talking like literally last 10 games?
Apologies. No, it is last 10 games. It's last 10 games.
If it's last 10 games, Reece James, I don't even think he's played in like 5 games.
We've done that round.
So let's move on.
No, wait. If it's last 10 games,
it's the majority of the last 10. The only that not played in the last.
Forget about even if he's played. If it's the last 10 games, Aurier's been better than Reece James in the last 10 games.
There's like 7 minutes left. Your mind is on light.
Do you know what I mean?
No. If it's last 10 games, I want my vote to be for Aurier. I'm sorry.
That's Tobs. That's completely fine. It's still Reece James. Next.
Yeah.
How does that make sense? Because I have decided vote. Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
that's nasty still.
Yeah, it is. I guess. Hey, that's life, man. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry. Okay, right centre back. What are we saying?
Zuma. We're putting Zuma there. That's our nomination.
Oh, actually, guys, sorry. Let me clarify, because Muga has just come in and said something very important. It's the last 10 games a player has played.
Yes,
I'm still sticking with my choice.
Yeah,
right strong.
Right centre back. Go on Spurs. We've said Zuma for us.
We've got no damn centre back, so pick who you want, man. Yeah. Wait, our centre backs are a myth still.
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's make this quick. Come on.
Okay, cool. Left centre back. Who you guys have? Thiago Silva.
Your team again.
Take him.
Yeah, cool.
They're shit too, but there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Right. Left back.
Regular.
Easy.
Regular.
I'm gonna get the
don't slow down here.
Regular. Easy.
Easy. I have to say, on the last 10 games, I've been more impressed by Reguilon. I do have to be honest.
I'm honest. I'm gonna give him Reggie.
Okay, there we are.
No, you don't get to call him Reggie.
I get to do what I want, bro.
Call him Reguilon. You're Chelsea fan.
Reggae sauce it is. All right. Straight onto midfield. So right in the middle, the anchor of midfield.
Easy. It's an easy one.
It's easy.
Right?
Kante.
We're gonna put Kante there.
Yes. And Spurs boys go on.
Højbjerg.
No, he has been one of the best midfielders.
Are you really saying Kante after you got by ESR? What is it that the Arsenal fans call it?
Topless toes. We're just nominating our things, bro.
No. Wait. We can only put.
Shouting. Why are you shouting? We're just nominating.
Because that's crazy that you said Kante. That's crazy.
That's our nomination.
Go on, Sai.
Kante can only get in the team if he's recovered from vertigo after he got spun by Tongi. He's still dizzy. He's still dizzy. He can't be in the team, bro.
Guys, last 10 games.
Anu, please just save your breath. The answer is Højbjerg. I can't lie. Moving on. Yeah, it is Højbjerg. I'm sorry. It really is. It really is. Okay, cool. Let's go to the right. Let's go to the right hand side of midfield. Spurs boys, who you have him?
I guess you could put Mason Mount there. I know he plays left side of the 8.
I said Spurs.
No, but I think he's picking Mason Mount out of every squad. So don't stop him. Carry on.
Yeah. Mason Mount can have that spot in the last 10 games. I'll give him that. And then the last spot is we know what's going to happen with the last spot. We know what's
just say it
depends.
Go.
Can we clone Tongi? Because there's not really any point talking about other midfielders still.
All right, cool. So wait, guys. We can make this a bit quicker. So are we going to go Højbjerg, Mount, and Ndombele? Is everyone agreed with that?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Chelsea boys.
I'm not saying. No. I don't agree, but you're going to.
If you don't agree, then we can go one by one. That's fine.
No, but what I'm saying is, even if I don't agree, the top 3 have agreed. So there's no point. Do you know what I'm saying?
I haven't agreed. I haven't agreed yet.
I want to hear your
opinion. I'll pick Kovacic.
Over Mount.
Over Mount?
No, over Ndombele. What's he been doing, bro?
Oh my God.
You lost me there, man. I can't lie. You lost me.
Oh,
you know what, Dan? Look, you have an opportunity now. Give me a compelling case as to why you're having Kovacic over Ndombele. Let's hear it.
Do you know what? I haven't even watched Spurs games like that. I can't do my last 10 games. I've been hearing from the grapevine that Ndombele is having a remontada. I need to see it myself. Maybe I'll see
it. He's completed 90 minutes now, so there's no bad words to say about it.
Listen, do you know what? I'll be honest. I can't really talk about Spurs that much. So if you guys think that it's Ndombele, then I'll go with it. I'll run.
Okay, look, I can't lie to you guys. For me, it is I'm picking Mount and then Ndombele. So I think that's pretty much the midfield done. Right, now onto the forwards, right? So let's start with left wing. Who are we? But you know what? Wait, Spurs. No, yeah, it's Son, isn't it? It's Son, isn't it? It's Son. It is Son. I can't lie to you. I'm Chelsea boys. I'm sorry. I know. Just keep stroking that.
What's the score? No.
Don't worry about that, sweetheart. Don't worry about that. Yeah. We've got the end. Striker.
Easy again.
Harry Kane for sure.
Did they have any strikers?
You don't have to say it so many times. Once is enough.
Sorry. Okay, and lastly, right wing.
Hudson-Odoi has to be.
Last 10 games he's played. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Spurs, who you guys having?
If it's on form, then yeah, I'll give it to Hudson-Odoi.
Who would you put?
It is true. It is true.
I said I'll give it to Hudson-Odoi.
No, I was just who would you
want to hear it again? We just want to hear it again.
Okay.
So, Hudson-Odoi's been better than Gareth Bale and Lamela. Fantastic.
Bergwijn as well, mate. Bergwijn as well, too.
He scored 0 goals this season. Great job.
How many players? How many children?
Why are you blaming us for your players?
Great job.
All right, guys. Guys. All right, so let me just go over the team, yeah, because we have our combined 11, yeah? We've got Hugo Lloris in goal. We've got Reece James centre-back. We've got Kop Zuma and Thiago Silva playing centre-half. We have Reggae Sauce, Regulon. We have Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg. We have Mason Mount. We have Tanguy, and Ndombele. We have Callum Hudson-Odoi. We have Harry Kane. And we have Heung-min Son.
They got one more. I think they got one more.
Yeah.
They got one more.
I think it's 6'5".
It is 6'5", yeah.
Right, cool. But listen, you can have your little touchline, the fight card win. We'll see it.
You're gonna get the real win tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll see you in the Discord live, my brother.
Oh, yes, I've got technical issues. So
yeah, already. All right, guys. Go on, Dan. You know what, Dan? You can have the last word. Go on.
Basically, smash the like button, hit subscribe, tell your friends, be on the Discord. Tobs is going to be there. Villeneuve is going to be there. I'm sure Hot Take Hazard is going to be in the background. He's always there. Sai is going to be there, right, too. So, yeah, it's going to be
I'll jump in.
Yes. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. We do this with every top 6 game that we have. The next one we have is on Sunday the 28th, and that is Chelsea versus Manchester United. So please make sure you check out for anything going on in that week. That will be Chessy Hour versus Muga. Until then, please make sure you are following all our channels on our various socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. You won't miss out on anything. Put the notifications on, and I wish you guys the best of luck for the game tomorrow.
Come on. History, heritage.
Peace.